Oh, and Kansas Kasiri's got that a bit wrong. Oh, and he comes across the curb, clatters into Damiano Fioravanti, and it's Fioravanti off to defend there. Meanwhile, that is Amaya Vaidanathan having a little bit of a spin. Menchaka breaks himself slightly. It gives Anthony Patak the opportunity to look to the outside. The Polish driver, though, pushed into the gravel trap. He's going to lose out to Julio Moreno, and he loses out to Colton Herter, and that's why the suspension broke. 5 laps to go at the end of this one, so there's time yet for the Italian. Oh, a huge contact between Menchaka and Moreno, and Diego Menchaka thumps into the Armco barrier. Julio Moreno very lucky not to be...
Get a replay and see exactly what happened. This is down at Rivazza on his own, lost the back end, maybe just ran a wheel on the grass possibly, but the back end. Here we go, wheel to wheel, and Callum is trying to go around the outside on the grass through the gravel trap. He had to have a go. He got himself back up to 13th place. He was going for 12th. All you can see now is a cloud of dust in Hockenheim. So he was out of the points anyway, and there's just the back end of the crash. Odd place to go there. Coming out of the kink onto the start-finish straight. That's a fair look like. He was on the AstroTurf, which is still damp from the rain overnight, and it just whipped away from him. Got to be careful on that. Saw in the earlier races today there was still spray coming up from that this morning, so I reckon that's still a little bit greasy. And it just... George Russell in the silver bullet. The high-tech car goes up to second place. Callum Ilott third. Action, Callum Ilott fending off Ralph Aron. Then you got Joel Eriksson, the number 22 car, the black, white, and red motor park car. Nelson Pedro Piquet has put it
through. One runs off wide, 2, 3, 4. A little bit of contact there, and 2 cars spun around in the wrong direction. And one of those is the Daruvala car. Pick the pieces out of it here.
I would guess Daruvala was too much in the inside, which is still a little bit damp, maybe locked up and couldn't turn around the corner.
Right.
Well, it's hard to judge, honestly.
Well,
maybe we get another. And even had a little bit of contact also in the front.
In the most critical part. And that is the number 6 car of Bruno Baptista. So he's been turned around with damage there. And this is Baptista about to collect. And spins right across there. In addition to all of that, we've got another stationary car on the exit of the stadium arena, which I can only see from commentary position here. It was contact there with the car of Lawrence Hoare. Just looked like Baptista turned around in front of him. So we're on the final lap.
Louis Gachot.
Fabio Scherer unter Druck. Hoppala, die haben sich berührt. Oh, ja. Fabio.
Diese kleine Berührung reicht dann aus in den Dreh. Nase vorne, fährt für Ast Racing, trifft jetzt Ortmann hier Ausgangskurve 2 und dreht sich da mitten ins Feld. Jetzt darf das hoffentlich bitte nicht schief gehen. Alle sehen das möglicherweise hoffentlich und können da ausweichen. Zieht da rein. Schwierig zu sagen. Schramm wollte innen auf den Curbs irgendwie überholen. Man hätte sich insgesamt ein bisschen mehr Raum lassen sollen. In Position schon gut macht. Die 8 mit dem Dreher und die 8 gehört hier mit von der Strecke kommt. Correa drückt da Scherer raus. Ja, den dreht es nach innen weg. Der trifft dann die 10, reißt auch Correa mit raus, kann aber eigentlich nichts für diese Nummer. Und Safety-Car-Einblendung oben.
Eine andere Farbe rund um den Kurs vonnöten sein wird. Das war der Versuch, an Lirim Zendeli vorbeizugehen. Tja, und aus dieser Kameraeinstellung war...
And this is a replay of what went on at turn 5.
Oh, skittle job, wasn't it?
Who was that? Was that? Gets the move.
Oh, wow, he hurt, but he didn't. He got it. It's a monster crash. Not
so into turn 3.
Yeah. Just slid out from under.
has just gone down a position. Check that. He's gone down 2 positions. No, Pipo Derani spinning at turn 6. That was literally a moment ago as the cars were coming round on the second lap after restart. As Pipo Derani looks down the inside of Eric Curran. It's a late move. Oh, man. Hits the curb.
He did well, I think.
Points, and then Hand and Mueller at 23. In GTD, Farnbacher and Ribeiras lead with 30 points. Then there's 29.
What has happened here? So, Tandy gets spun around by the 20 PC and then hits the wall really, really hard, going backwards down the hill. Who was in the...
Johnny Molan.
Was that Johnny?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Goodness knows what he was thinking there.
There wasn't room there, I'm afraid.
No, you don't pass cars going down the hill.
Inside.
You should know that.
Now, there's been an incident up at turn 7, and that is Scott Sharp just losing the back end there. Pretty tricky out on the circuit. Let's talk about the season first. The fuel probe in at the back, and then, oh yeah, it's leaking fuel out, and the fueler steps away immediately. He had the sense to hold up the fuel hose, but the fuel was still rushing out of it. Eventually he put it down, and I can understand why he did that, but there was still clearly fuel leaking out of the fuel filler area of the car and of the fuel hose itself.
Such an awesome experience, and you know, the car was fantastic. Can't thank the guys at Mazda enough for all their hard work, and you know, we're quick, so Joel's going to finish it out. He's going to do an awesome...
He's another car.
Oh boy.
He came across. Oh, my goodness me.
Somebody coming into the pit lane. Who was that? Was that number 73 car? Was that Jörg Bergmeister?
It was Jörg Bergmeister coming into the pit lane in the Porsche, the Park Place Porsche, and Jörg not really knowing where he wanted to be. And oh, there was a touch. There was a touch on the right rear to the left front. That's a really...
Here we go.
Oh, he's taking his teammate. It's wheel banging. That is so bad form. What is Klingman thinking there? This is a guy who's a BMW driver, and he turns himself around.
Yeah.
And in comes the 66 out of the lead of GT to the left-hand side. Now, was that on his own? There was a lot of cars in there. Oh, there's a Stevenson Audi in there, but he wasn't in. No, it was just on his own. Both the Stevenson Audi. We had the Paul Miller Racing Lambo in there as well, but that was just pinching down on the inside. I've been saying all week that you can take a huge amount of speed through turn 6, but you've got to be able to use all the road there. Poor Matt McMurray didn't have that luxury. Even think of that without... Oh, and the 70 car's gone up in flames. Third position, Joel Miller. Big fire on the left rear of that car. It's from the exhaust, though. It might just be a blown turbo and some excess fuel, but it's not going to be a clean sweep for the LMP2s. It's gone wrong in the last 14 minutes for Mazda. What have they done to anger the racing gods? That is disaster and cruel, cruel luck in the last outing for the Lola Mazda chassis. Oh my goodness me, there's a full course yellow. There's a full course yellow. There's the Plas lead going, and the car is on.
Look at what happened.
Oh, obviously, right front tire failure, and we saw this in the Xfinity race, and this is a product of very limited practice time, not really getting an understanding of...
Running the high line, I would say that's a good thing, and it explodes.
Well, and drivers behind did a great job. Well, not a worse feeling than drive off into the corner, Jeff, and not be able to...
A little bit of contact there. 77 of Matt Waltz went up the track. 10 of Matt DiBenedetto was up there, as well as the 77 of Matt Waltz. And you see, which was supposed to be the competition caution in there. We see Ty Dillon smacking the wall of Safer Berry in the exit of turn 2 and the exit of turn 4.
Wow, that was another...
No caution, keep digging.
Yeah.
See the front of the car fall down, and very hard impact.
Against the inside wall here that goes to pit road 2 to help these drivers in these situations.
Ryan Ellis
He was trying to go to the bottom, and Marks was going to the bottom, and 19 just needed to check up just a little bit and give him some room, and he got the car overcorrected and hard impacting the wall.
Huge impact.
Yeah, it is. You see how easy it is.
Hard contact. Take another look. 3,400 pounds of race car off the ground after slam.
It's just not hardly in a race driver's makeup to